Welcome, welcome fans. I'm Total Moderation. In this video, I read whole terms of service of YouTube.
Start. Welcome to YouTube introduction. Okay, our service, the service allows you to discover, watch, and share videos and other content. Provides a forum for people to connect, inform, and inspire other across the globe and acts as an distribution platforms for original content creators and advertising large and small. We provide lots of information about our products and how to use them in our help center among other things. You can find out about YouTube Kids, the YouTube partner program, YouTube paid membership and purchases. You can also read all about enjoying content on other device like your television, your games console, or Google Home. Your service provider, the entity providing the service is Google LLC, a company operating under the law Dataware, located at 1600 Amphitheatre Parkway, Mountain View, CA 94043, referred to as YouTube B, us, or our, reference to YouTube's affiliates. In these terms means the other companies within the Alphabet Inc. corporate group. Applicable terms. Your use of the service is subject to these terms, the YouTube community guidelines and policy, safety, copyright policy, which may be updated from time to time. Together, this policy, safety, copyright policy, which may be updated from time to time. Your agreement with us will also include the advertising on YouTube policies. If you provide advertising or sponsorship to the service or incorporate paid promotion in your content, any other link or reference provided in these terms or are for information use only and are not part of the agreement. Please read this agreement carefully and make sure you understand. If you do not understand this agreement or do not accept any other of it, then you may not use the service. By accepting this agreement, you affirm that you are 18 years of age or above and are fully competent to enter into this agreement and to abide by and comply with this agreement. In cause you are below 18 years of age, the restriction and requirement below apply. Who may use the service? Age requirement: you must be at least 13 years old to use the service. However, children of all ages may use the service and YouTube Kids, if enabled by a parent or legal guardian, permission by a parent or guardian. If you are considered a minor in your country, you represent that you have your parent or guardian's permission to use the service. Please have them read this agreement with you. If you are a parent or legal guardian of a minor in your country, by allowing your child to use the service, you are subject to the terms of this agreement and responsible for your child's activity on the service. You can find tools and resources to help you manage your family's experience on YouTube in our help center and through Google Family Link. Businesses, if you are using the service or behalf of a company or organization, you represent that you have authority to act on behalf of that entity and that such entity accepts this agreement. You your use of the service. Content on the service. The content on the service includes videos, audio, for example music and other sound, graphics, photo, text such as comment and scripture, branding including trade names, trademark, service mark, interactive feature software, metrics, and other materials, collectively content. Content is the responsibility of the person or entity that provides it to the service. YouTube is under no obligation to host or serve content. If you use any content you believe does not comply with this agreement, including by violating the law, community guideline, or the law, you can report it to us. Google accounts and YouTube channel. You can use parts of the service such as browsing and searching for content without having Google account. However, you do need a Google account to use some feature. With a Google account you may be able to like videos, subscribe to channel, create your own YouTube channel and more. You can follow these instructions to create a Google account. Creating YouTube channel will give you access to additional feature and functions such as uploading videos, making comment or creating playlist. Here are some details about how to create your YouTube channel. To protect your Google account, keep your password confidential. You should not reuse your Google account password on third party application. Learn more about keeping your Google account secure, including what to do if you learn of any unauthorized use of your password or your Google account. Your information, our privacy policy explains how we treat your personal data and protect your privacy. When you use the service, the YouTube Kids Privacy Notice provide additional information about our privacy practice that are specific to YouTube Kids. If we will process any audio or audio visible content uploaded by YouTube, the service in accordance with the YouTube data processing terms, except in case where you uploaded such content for personal purposes for household activities. Permission and restriction. You may access and use it. The service are made available to you as long as you comply with this agreement and applicable law. You may view or listen to content if your personal non commercial use. You may also show YouTube videos through the embedded YouTube player. The following restriction apply to your use of the service. You are not allowed to access, reproduce, download, distribute, transmit, broadcast, display, sell, license, alter, modify, or otherwise use any part of the service or any content except as expressly authorized by service or with prior written permission from YouTube, and if applicable the respective rights shall circumvent, disable, fraudulently engage with or otherwise interfere with any part of the service feature that prevent or restrict the copying or other use of content, limit the use of the service or content, access the service using any automated means. In the case of public search engine, in accordance with YouTube Robots Text File, B with YouTube prior written permission, collect or harvest any information that might identify a person unless permitted by that person or allowed under Section 3 above. Use the service to distribute unsophisticated promotional or commercial content and other unwanted or mass solicitation. Cause or encourage any inaccurate measurement of genuine user agreement with the service, including by paying people or providing them with incentives incentives to increase the views, like or dislikes, or to increase a channel subscriber, or otherwise to manipulate a matrix in any manner. Misuse in reporting, flagging, complaint dispute or process, including by making guideline vexation or frivolous submission. Run run contests on or through the service that you do not comply with YouTube contest policies and other guidelines. Use the service to view or listen to content then for personal non-commercial use. For example, you may not publicly video or stream music from the service or use the service sell any advertising, sponsorship or promotional plays on around or within the service or content other than those allowed in the advertising OP YouTube parties, sale advertising sponsorships or promotions, or any page of any website or application that only contain content from the services or where content from the service is the primary basis for such sale sales reservation. Using the service does not give you ownership of your right to any aspect of the service, including username or any content posted by others. YouTube develop, improve, and update the service. YouTube is constantly changing and improving the service. As part of this continual evolution, we may make modification or changes such as adding or removing features and functionalities functionalities, offering new digital content or services or discontinuing old ones. We may also need to alter or discontinue the service or any part of it in order to make performance or security improvement, make changes to comply with law, or prevent illegal activities or abuse of our systems. These changes may affect all users, some user or even any individual user when the service require or include downloadable software. That software may update automatically on your device once a new version or feature is available, subject to your device settings. If we make material changes that negatively impact your use of the service, we will provide you with reasonable advance notice, except in urgent situations such as preventing abuse, responding to legal requirement, addressing security and operability issue. We will also provide you with an opportunity to export your content from your Google account using Google Takeout content to applicable law and policies. Your content and conduct uploading content. If you have a YouTube channel, you may be able to upload content or to the service. You may use your content is promote your business or artistic enterprise. If you choose to upload content, you must not submit to the service any content that does not comply with this agreement. In a particular, the content must respect the right of others, including privacy, not include third party intellectual property unless you have permission from that party or are otherwise legally entitled to do so. Not abuse or harm other or yourself, including against children. Not mislead be patently false or defrauding, not illegally impersonate, defame, bully, harass, be options, or stalk others. For inside violation of applicable law, not abuse, harm, interfere with, or disrupt the service, for example, by accessing or using them in fraudulent or deceptive ways, introducing malware or spamming, hacking, bypassing our system or protect measures. You are legally responsible for the content you submit to the service. We may use automated system that analyze your content to help detect infringement and abuse, including spam, malware. Right, you grant. You retain ownership in your content. However, we require you to grant certain rights to YouTube and other user of the service as described below. License to YouTube. By providing content to the service, you grant to YouTube worldwide non-exclusive, royalty-free, transferable, the sublicensable license to use that content. Prepare. YouTube may only use that content in connection with the service and YouTube's business, including for the purpose of promoting and redistributing part of the service. License to other user. You also grant each other user of the service a worldwide non-exclusive royalty-free license to access your content through the service and to use that content, including to reproduce, distribute, prepare derivative, display, and perform it only enabled by feature of the service. For clarity, this license does not grant any rights or permission for a user to make of your content independent of the service. Duration of license. The license granted by our continue for a commercial reasonable period of time. After you remove or delete your content from the service, you understand and agree, however, that YouTube may retain but not display, distribute, or perform server copies of your videos that have been removed or deleted. Right to monetization. You grant to YouTube the right to monetize your content on the service. This agreement does not entitle you to any payment starting with June 1, 2021. Any payments of you may be entitled to receive from YouTube under any other agreement between you and YouTube. For example, payment under the YouTube program, changes, channel memberships, or will be treated as royalties if required by law. Google will withhold taxes from such payment. Removing your content. You may remove your content from the service at any time. You also have the option to make a copy of your content before removing it. You must remove your content if you no longer have the right required by these terms. Removal of content by YouTube. We reasonably believe any of your content is in breach of this agreement or may cause harm to YouTube or our user or third parties, we reserve the right to remove to take down that content in accordance with applicable law. We will notify you with the reason for our action unless we regionally believe that to do so would breach the law or the direction of a legal enforcement authority or would otherwise risk legal liability for YouTube of our affiliates would compromise an investigation of the integrity or operation of the service would would compromise an investigation on the integrity and operation of the service would cause harm to any other third party YouTube or our affiliate. You can learn from about reporting enforcement including how to appeal on the troubleshooting page of our help center. Community guidelines strike. YouTube operates a system of strike in respect of content that violates the YouTube community guideline. Each strike comes with varying restriction and may results in the permanent removal of your channel into from YouTube. A full description of how a strike affects your channel is available on the service community service strikes basics page. If you believe that a strike has been issued in error, you may appeal here. If your service has been restricted due to a strike, you must not use another channel to circumvent these restriction. Violation of this prohibition is a material breach of its agreement. Google reserves the right to terminate your Google account for your access to all or part of the service. Copyright protection. We provide information to help copyright holder manage their intellectual property of its online in our YouTube Copyright Center. If you believe your copyright has been infringed on the service, please send us a notice. We provide information to help copyright holders manage their intellectual property online in our YouTube Copyright Center. If you believe that infringe on the service, please send us a notice. We respond to notice of alleged copyright infringement according to the processes in our YouTube Copyright Center, where you can also find information about how to resolve a copyright strike. YouTube policies provide for the termination to appropriate circumstances of repeat infringers access to the service. Account suspension and termination. By you may stop using the service at any time. Follow these instructions to delete the service from your Google account, which involves closing your YouTube channel and removing your data. You also have the option to download a copy of your data first. Termination and suspension by YouTube reserve the right to suspend or terminate your Google account or your access to all or part of the service. If you materially or repeatedly breach this agreement, we are required to do so comply with the legal requirement or court order we believe that has been conduct to the create liability to harm to any other user, other third party YouTube to our affiliates notice for terminating a suspension. We will notify you with the reason for terminating or suspension by YouTube unless we reasonably believe that to do so would violate the law or the direction of a legal enforcement authority, would compromise an investigation, would compromise the integrity, operation, or security of the service, would cause him to any user, other third party, YouTube affiliates, where YouTube is terminating you for service changes where reasonably possible. You will be provided with sufficient time to export your content from the service. Hide effect of account suspension of termination. If your Google account is terminated on your access to the service is restricted, you may continue using certain aspect of the service without an account, and this agreement will continue to apply to such use. If you believe that termination or suspension of your Google account has been made in error, you can appeal using the form. About software. Downloadable software. When the service require or include downloadable software, unless that software is governed by additional terms which provides a license, YouTube gives you a personal worldwide royalty fee on non-assignable and exclusive license to use the software provided to you by YouTube as part of the service. Thus, license for the sole purpose for enabling you to use and you enjoy the benefit of the services provided by YouTube in the manner permitted by this agreement. You are not allowed to copy, modify, distribute, sell, sublicense, or lease any part of the software unless you have YouTube's written permission. Some software used in our service may be offered under an open source royalty free license that we provided to you. There may be provision in an open source license that expressly abridged some of these terms, so please be sure to read those licenses. Other legal terms, warranty disclaimer, other ठीक है इतना बस बचा है ठीक है warranty disclaimer. Other than as express state in this agreement or as required by law, the service is provided as is and YouTube does not make any specific commitment or warranties about the service. For example, we do not make any warranties about the content provided through the service, the specific feature of the service or its security, reliability, availability, or ability to meet your need, or that any content you submit will be accessible on the service. Limitation of liability except as required by applicable law. YouTube, its affiliates, officer, director, employees, and agent will not be responsible for any loss of profit, revenues, business opportunities, goodwill, or anticipated saving, loss or corruption of data, indirect or consequential loss, punitive damages caused by error, mistake, or inaccuracies on the service, personal injury, or property damaging result from your use of the service, any unauthorized use of the service, any interruption or cessation of the service, any viruses or malicious code transmitted to or through the service by any third party, any content whether submitted by a user or YouTube including your use of content and or the removal or any unavailability of any content. These provision applies to any claim regardless of whether the claim asserted is based on warranty, contract, tort, and or any other legal theory. To the extent permitted by applicable law, YouTube and its affiliate total liability for any claim arising from or relating to the service is limited to the greater or the amount of revenue that you too has paid to you from your use of the service in the 12 months before the date of your notice in writing to YouTube of the claim. USD $500 bill whoever is higher. Indemnity. To the extent permitted by applicable law, you agree to defend, indemnify and hold harmless YouTube, its affiliates, officer, director, employees and agent from and against and any and all claim, damages, obligation, losses, liabilities, cost or debt and expenses arising from your use of the service, your violation of any term of this term of service, your violation of any third party right, including without limitation any copyright, property or privacy right, any claim that any claim that you content caused damage to a third party. This defense and indemnification obligation will survive this agreement and you for the service. Third party links. The service may contain a link to third party website and online services that are not owned or controlled by YouTube, has no control over and assume no responsibility for such that website and online services. Be aware when you leave the service. We suggest you read the terms and privacy policy of each third party website and services that you visit. For this agreement changing this environment agreement, we may change this agreement to reflect change to our service or how we do business. For example, when we add new product or feature or remove old one for legal, regulatory or security reason to prevent abuse or harm. If we materially change the agreement, we will provide you with reasonable advance notice, the opportunity to review the changes, except when we launch a new product or feature or in urgent situation such as preventing ongoing abusing or responding to legal requirement. If you do not agree to the new terms of, you should remove any content you uploaded and stop using the service. Continuation of this agreement. If you use of the service ends, the following terms of this agreement will continue to apply to you. Other legal terms about this agreement and the license granted by you will continue as described under duration of license. Severance. If it turns out that a particular term of this agreement is not enforceable for any reason, this will not affect any other terms. No welfare. If you failed to comply with this agreement and we do not take immediate action, this does not mean that we are giving up any rights that we may have, such as the a right to take action in the future. Interpretation in these terms include or including mean, including but not limited to, and any example we give are for illustrative purposes. Governing law. California law will govern all dispute arising out of relating to these terms of the service, regardless of conflict of laws. Rule. This dispute will be resolved exclusively in the federal or state court of Santa Clara County, California, USA. You and you to consent to personal jurisdiction in those cars. Be applicable local the prevent these disputes from being resolved in a California court, then you can file this dispute in your local court. Likewise, if applicable, local law from prevents your local court from applying California law to resolve this dispute, then these disputes governed by the laws of your country of resident. If you like to watch this video, so subscribe, or I will take your dog or cat and also deleted your Minecraft account, so subscribe for safe. Thank you.
Total maturation. Total maturation.